I don't know just where I got it, but I remember I got an email that had information from Josh, and the first time I ever saw Josh was Josh laying in a hospital bed. And I thought, this is kind of interesting, and I watched it, and that led into some of his story and sent you to a webinar that he was doing, and I listened to the webinar and got to know Josh and learned about his middleman income program, which I'd heard some about, had another source that I'd learned something about from that. So I was interested in it, wanted to launch it, learned about his way of doing it, really liked that, and went ahead and bought the course. Yeah, I'm really right on the beginning of it, so it hasn't changed my life yet, but I'm expecting it will. So in watching this webinar that related to middleman income, learning about that, doing some research about John on the web, or about Josh on the web, and watching some of his emails that came back to me, he advertised in one of them, here's a webinar for HUD wholesaling. And that's when I got to know John. Interesting fellow that he is. And I saw HUD wholesaling, and the thought came to me of, this is really cool. This is very systematic. It makes a lot of sense. He's obviously got a great machine here. Learned the same thing about Josh and what he's doing with middleman income. And my thought was, let's, if I can do both of these things and get them going, I can kickstart the kind of investing that I want to do, that I've thought about doing, haven't really done. And my thought was, in getting to know these two guys through that kind of medium, that they really do have some systems in place. They're not just selling you a program, they're actually doing this. You can tell by the way they talk, they're doing it. And then I forget just what it was, but on another webinar that I listened to with them, they advertised this 2-on-1 opportunity. And so that's what brought me here to meet with them personally. And boy, it couldn't have been better. I mean, it's the very beginning of a nice thing to move forward with, as opposed to a lot of coaching that I think of, when you're done, you're done. But these guys are just as genuine as they can be. And they're obviously doing this every day. They're not just, hey, I did 5 houses and now I put a program together and I'm selling it to you and I hope it works. They're doing this. So you have a coach player, is maybe a good way to put it. What I liked about the 2-on-1, it was very focused, it was very direct. It was, how do we help you, how do we answer questions that we know that you have? Let's walk you through those things, and while we're doing that, let's get to know you better, learn about your business, help you put a plan together in both the big picture, the 15,000 foot level, if you will, and the 5 foot level. So not only do you get what you're doing walking out of here, or understanding the concepts of middleman income and HUD wholesaling, but let's give you a specific plan as to, when you get home tomorrow, these are things that you can go to work and do, and start working on it immediately. As I say, these guys have been great to work with. They're very systems oriented, they're very implementation oriented, they're very, here's not just 3 steps and then figure it out, here's 27 steps, and the ABC part of step 5 and 6 and 8. So you know what to do, and then we'll give you support as you go. So my plan when I get out of here is, I'm going to be setting up various accounts. I'm going to be buying a new computer to dedicate to HUD wholesaling. I'm going to do a whole variety of different things. And the nice thing is, I know I can go back to them from time to time and ask them questions, and they'll have answers for me too.